Good morning to everyone. I am Salim Ibrahim Chipsa. This is the video, one of the requirements to fulfill the phases recruitment which I want to carry out. Thank you very much. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you. We thank the Most High. Well, let me begin with the first question that was asked. The first question was, I should tell about myself and my interests and hobbies. Salim Ibrahim Chipsa Muhammad is my name. I was born in Ghana. I attended school at the School of Amankwetia MAGSS, opposite Baba Yara Sports Stadium, Kumasi. From there, I proceeded to University of Education, Winneba, of which I read Bachelor of Science Mathematics in Education, and currently I am a teacher teaching mathematics at the Bosompio Oyoko Community Senior High School. My interests and my hobby are, I have interest in playing football. Those are the things I normally do when I have my free time, doing that and a whole lot of things. Thank you very much. The second question has to do with what motivated me to become a mathematics teacher. I became a mathematics teacher because I have the passion of teaching mathematics and enjoy sharing knowledge with my students. When it happens that way, I become happy imparting knowledge to students so that they also have the required knowledge that will help them in the years to come and beyond. Thank you. The third question has to do with, I should tell about my involvement in extracurricular activities. As a mathematics teacher, I may be involved in coaching. I also do supervise at times extracurricular activities related to mathematics, such as maths club, mathematics team competition, football games, types of activities that can help students to develop problem-solving skills depending on the situation and understanding of mathematical concepts. And the fourth question has to do with what subjects am I teaching and at what level? Currently I teach in Ghana. Here we do have core mathematics and elective mathematics. So in this institution I teach elective mathematics and core mathematics respectively. That is what I do here. And the level I teach in Ghana, we do have a secondary, but when you go to outside world, they say it is KS4. That is what I do here. The fifth question happens to be, how do I prepare my lesson in advance to ensure that, how do I prepare my lesson? What do I do to prepare my lesson? The fifth question happens to be, how do I prepare to teach lesson and what do my lesson plans include? Well, typically, I prepare my lesson in advance to ensure that it is effectively and engaging and it runs smoothly in my teaching delivery. So by doing this, I do have some steps of which I take to make my lessons smoothly or deliver my lesson perfectly. One has to do with reviewing the curriculum. The second has to do with the assessing the students' needs. The third has to do with the selecting the right instructional materials. And the next of which I want to talk about it is planning the instructional strategies. And the next thing happens to be development assessment. A lesson plan typically includes several key components, which include the objectives, introduction, instruction, activities, assessments, and closure. Overall, a lesson plan serves as a roadmap for the teacher to follow to ensure the smooth running of what is teaching delivery. The sixth question has to do with talk about two strategies or methods that teachers use effectively in your teaching or classroom. Well, the effective teaching strategy I normally use in my classroom setting happens to be differentiated instruction. Differentiated instruction in such a way that it's a strategy that involves adapting instruction to meet individual needs of each student in the classroom. And the second one happens to be the inquiry-based. The inquiry-based learning is a teaching strategy that involves engaging students in actively learning by asking questions, conducting investigations, engaging students in an active manner. That is what I normally employ in my teaching field. The seventh question also has to do with when someone enters my classroom, I should describe the activities that the person might see or engage. Well, when you enter my classroom, one thing you will see or you will observe is a group discussion or a group work, independent work at times, discussion as well. Will be a flow of discussion, hands-on activities. There will be activities carried on. Technology-based activities is also one of the factors which cannot be left out. The overall learning activities in classroom will depend on the subject being taught, the teaching style of a teacher, and the needs and ability of the students at large. The eighth question has to do with what method do I use to evaluate my student progress? Yes, in teaching setting, first and foremost, I use formative evaluation or formative assessment. I also use summative assessment. Performance assessment is also not left out. Self-assessment and peer assessment is also necessary when it comes to that. Rubrics is also necessary, of which I used. The ninth question also has to do with if I should use technology in teaching, I should describe how I will incorporate in my teaching. Well, incorporating technology into learning, in fact, for me, smart board is very necessary. Smart boards are very interactive with whiteboard that allow me to display content from the computer or other devices to interact with students using touch or stars. Smart boards are very necessary when you are teaching, and in fact, it creates a scene for the student to also focus, for them to be able to focus well to understand what you have been doing. The experiences I do have in smart board is that smart boards can be effective to engaging students. In fact, the engaging is very necessary in an interactive lesson, providing opportunities for hands-on learning. Even other teachers also use this smart board to review or reinforce concepts. So smart board, in fact, it increases the teachers rate, and it brings understanding to the student to also learn. The 10th question happens to be, if you have students who are noisy or non-attentive, share ways to regain their attention without interrupting the lesson. Well, this is a very nice question by all standard. In fact, it's not easy. Handling such a student is not easy. When students are noisy and non-attentive, it can be challenging to regain their attention without interrupting the flow of the lesson. One method I use in my classroom setting when such situation happens is non-verbal clues. 2, call and respond. 3, attention grabbers. 4, movement breaks. 5, redirecting focus. These are the techniques I effectively manage student behavior and maintain a positive, productive learning environment in my classroom. The 11th question has to do with describe the most difficult problem you have dealt with as a teacher and how did you solve them. Well, this includes students who are talkative. Some students are also off task, outright defiant, and it can have a negative impact on learning environments and even the student as a whole. To address this problem, teachers I normally use a variety of strategies such as setting clear expectations for behavior, establishing consequences for misbehavior, building positive student-teacher relationship with students. And this student-teacher relationship with students very necessary because it it helps a lot, because when you have a good relationship with students, in fact, even seeing him in front of you makes him happy, to the extent that whatever he does, he's to put a stop to it without any fear or favor or something like that. So I think it is very necessary when you adopt all these strategies, so that it will help you to do all those kind of things. And the last question happens to be, example, how flexible am I if I can make changes to my teaching? Yes, let me use this COVID-19 pandemic as an example. As a teacher, we need to be away from the classroom method to be using online activities to teach students, because if everything happens to be classroom based, and now here be the case, the classroom teachers and students are not coming to the school because of COVID-19 pandemic, definitely you need to organize online classes for students. That will help students to also learn whilst they are away from home. So these are my strategies that I can effectively use to help my students to gain attention, learn activities, recalcitrant students, to build my confidence. In fact, they are a whole lot. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to express my views about the question being asked, and I'm highly grateful. Hope to hear from you soon. Thank you very much.